Welcome to the FBAA's Top Broker Podcast for mortgage brokers looking to take their business to the next level.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Top Broker Podcast. Jaden here. Today we've got Nathan, our special guest back, the FBAA Broker of the Year for 2018 and the Better Business Summit Queensland Broker of the Year and Broker of the Year for 2019. The guy's won a couple of awards. He knows what he's talking about. We're going to get heaps of value for you guys today out of this interview. Nathan's going to talk about a few simple things he does every day that made a huge impact to his business, and also the one referral partner that you need to have on your team this year. It's actually a really good tip. You're going to love it. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. All right, so diving right in, Nathan, I want more leads. What do I do?
It's surprisingly simple. I think it's all about daily and consistent action, which builds momentum and gets you into a position where you have unsurmountable amounts of business. And I always liken it to, look at the ant, the humble ant. It has the ability to devour a tiger. How does it do it? It does it piece by piece, day by day, consistently. And over time, it's gone. So one of my first things that I learned when I started was making sure that I made 11 calls before 11 a.m. or 10 before 10, whatever you want to do. As long as I made those calls daily and consistently every day with my referral partners and or my clients or whatever I needed to call, day by day, would build that momentum and give me an opportunity to build, so that after 3 years, the people I'd been talking with 3 years ago still remembered me. And once they got into that zone that they needed a mortgage, I was the only person they thought about.
Well, and I did a similar thing when I started, and I know one thing that really helped was tracking those results. So it's one thing to put them on the calendar. How did you keep tabs on them? Did you have some sort of system, or what did you actually do?
It's pretty easy. Everyone's got a CRM, so just kept information in a CRM, and I call people every 3 months, exactly like real estate agents, where you've got the market update. I think of things that add value to people, that is more specific to their situation. Take good detailed notes, keep it in my CRM. And then if they're looking to do a renovation and they talked about doing it in 12 months time, that's the sort of information I'll be giving to them every time I talk to them, and making sure that they're still on track. If there's anything I can help with, give them a bit of an update on the market, things that are topical.
Well, and it can be really easy. Like, I know you just use the Heron Todd White report, herontoddwhite.com.au/month in review, that anyone can download. And it can be as simple as that. It can just be like, well, we're seeing this in the market, where, you don't even need to talk about property. It can just be just to check in with them. It's all simple, but I think the point really being, it's making those 11 calls or the 10 before 10 and consistently. I reckon Tom Panos said a thing a few years ago, which was basically like, if you could improve 1% per day in a year, imagine where you'd be. And it's as simple as that. It's just doing those little bits, bit by bit, and moving forward. So let's break that down a bit more, Nathan. So I know sometimes in the past I've second guessed calling old leads, because it's like, well, what am I going to talk about to these people? Do they want to still hear about property stuff? Like, what's your process with that, and how do you re-engage older leads or people that you might have spoken to in a little while?
Yeah, I think what's hard today becomes easier tomorrow. What's easy today becomes hard tomorrow. So I think probably everyone feels exactly the same at that point, where you've got someone that might not necessarily remember you or whatnot. You've talked to him a long time ago. And what I found was, yes, I knew I was going to get rejected on some situations, and I accepted it. And I believe that the more no's I got, I was closer to a yes. Especially, if you haven't talked to someone for a long period of time, they may not be interested in discussing or anything like that. The other angle I used to look for is ways to talk about things that are interesting. Finance is not interesting. So if I knew they enjoyed talking about the rugby, you go on a tangent on about that. So it was looking for every avenue possible to have a decent conversation about something that was relevant to the client.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think it's hard to forget, people don't remember, but an email or an SMS really isn't a substitute for a phone call. So these calls that you do with people, I like your approach, because it's not necessarily about getting new business, but it's just about maintaining that relationship between you and the clients, and just keep you front of mind, and maybe they'll refer, but better yet, you're building that relationship for years to come. All right, so your next tip, Nathan, I know you do this a lot, is you keep in touch with your referral partners, but also hit up old ones. Now, I know this is something in the early days, you might feel awkward sort of randomly hitting up someone you haven't spoke to a few years, but how do you push through that, and why even do that? If they haven't referred to you in a couple of years, will they start to all of a sudden?
Yeah, I think once again, it's about keeping a good communication line with referrals and customers alike. So with referral partners, what I used to do is if I saw something in the paper that I reminded me of them, I'd take a snippet or print it out, let's say from the AFR or anything like that, and I'd actually post it with a handwritten note on it. Once again, it's something a bit different. It keeps you front of mind and sticks you out as someone that's at least thinking of them and sending something through the snail mail, because we all get thousands of emails these days. It's not really a high touch. Sometimes referral partners, you can call them and have a yarn to them, but they might be in the middle of something. So sending something with a handwritten note in the mail, I found was a highly effective strategy with re-engaging old referral partners. And then what I found is sometimes they'd give me a buzz and they'd say, "Oh, Nathan, I see there's big changes in the lending criteria with lenders at the moment. What's going on?" And it gave me an opportunity to get back in front of them, because once again, you're just showing you're genuine. You found something that was of relevance to them, and you're giving them that information for their purposes to understand further.
Well, I think one thing that's working really well for us at the moment is the real estate agents, because they're in a lot of pain because they're finding buyers are getting it more challenging. It's becoming more challenging to get finance, and we all know that. And we've all kept up and adjusted, and be able to keep our approvals and everything going. So I think one thing that's I would definitely put on your plate, if you haven't got any real estate agent referrers, is hit them up and tell them about the approvals you're getting and the settlements, and tell them a bit about you and what you're seeing in the market, because it is a huge pain point at the moment that agents are finding that. We had one, and a client spoke to us putting an offer on the place, and the real estate agent was telling them how they wouldn't be able to get finance approved because they were over 50 and the banks are tightening criteria, and it's not true. So I think there's a massive opportunity there. Even if you've bought a home and you haven't hit up that agent, there's opportunity there to hit up those old real estate agent referrers.
Yeah, there's a lot of hysteria out there at the moment, and now more than ever is the time where referral partners want to have someone that they can rely on, that can get the job done. They're not necessarily interested in getting any referral payments, nothing like that. They just want the deal done and dusted without any troubles or complications. And if you can get in there and roll your sleeves up and show them that you're the person for the job, that's when they'll continue to use them. And that's when you'll be their broker for life. Because right now, they want the property sold. They don't want to have the hassles of being told that finances can't be approved. They need to find another person to purchase a property and start through the process again.
Nathan, thank you so much again for your time. I took away heaps from that. I think number one, which, like you said, it's doing the hard stuff that's necessary. So it's making those calls every day, having it fixed in your calendar and forcing yourself to do that, because those little improvements, even that hour a day adds up to literally days. So I think that's a huge takeaway. And number two is just picking up the phone and hitting up those old leads, old referral partners. And that great tip, I think the real estate agents, go out there, make a phone call today. Today's the day you need to start. So yeah, if you like the episode, make sure you leave us a review. And if you've got any questions or comments, hit us up at topbroker.com.au. Until next time, see you guys.